As per this donation from Super Q, it's time to evaluate all Gogetas in Dragon Ball Legends. This is a little series I've started where I go through every single release for a certain character, only addressing the premium versions, so Legends Limiteds and Ultras, and seeing how likely it is for us to get a good one based on the ones we have already in the game. I've done this for Vegeta based on the fact that the Ultra Vegetas are very dangerous, and I also did this for Gohan, who had a fresh number of 100%. So if you want to check those videos out, be sure to do so as they're on the channel. Subscribing helps the channel out and liking the video too. But let's see Gogeta's track record and how likely it is for us to get a good one. Let's get into this. Now we're getting into the Legends Limiteds, and we actually don't have a lot of Legends Limiteds. I thought we would have had more, but we've only got 4, so let's get into them. The first Gogeta we got in Dragon Ball Legends was the Legends Limited Gogeta Blue. Now this Gogeta wasn't better than Broly, but was still a very good unit. One that people might say was underrated, some might even say he was underwhelming, but for sure beat the test of time and was shown to be very valuable. On his release, good, not the best, but as time went on, he showed to be the better unit. And of course we got his Zenkai recently, at least more recently, and the Zenkai showed to be excellent. So for his release and his Zenkai, we're gonna give him the green light and say they were both good. Fan favorite unit here, so I'm glad to talk about him first. The second Legends Limited Premium Gogeta that we got was Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta during the 3rd anniversary. Now on his release, for an anniversary headliner, people didn't think he was the best, and honestly he required a bit too much investment to shine. It's unfortunate, but I will have to say that his release was a bust, considering a lot of people were leaning towards Corrupted Zamasu as the better unit. I'll also stack on top, he got a platinum equipment very soon after, and that platinum equipment really saved his life very apparently, the first of the kinds that we get nowadays. So he's the start of units coming out bad and having to get platinum equipment just to make them shine. If I also talk about his Zenkai was also alright at the start of 2024, I believe, the year of quote unquote GT, but it didn't last long. So I'm gonna say his Zenkai was good, but for the 20 days of his prime, that was it. No longevity on that Zenkai, pretty much fell off the map soon after. But nonetheless, people were using him, and that might just only be because he's a Gogeta at the end of the day. So unfortunate for this release here, his base kit just isn't good enough to keep up nowadays. The third Gogeta release we've got is Legends Limited Pikkon, who revives into Super Gogeta. Now this unit here on release, also very questionable. A lot of people didn't think that he was good, and honestly it's not ridiculous to say that. I'm gonna be putting this Pikkon on Gogeta into a bust category because the only way they were able to shine was with a specific equipment. This would be the start of the pure equipments that we get in the dual coin exchange shop that really changed how units operate in ranked PvP. For a lot of units nowadays as well, it's not safe to run them if you're not using a pure equipment of the kind that appears in the dual coin exchange shop. So I'm kind of 50-50 here, because once people started applying that equipment onto Pikkon and Super Gogeta, they were honestly on top. So I'm gonna leave Pikkon and Super Gogeta up to you. I believe the equipment was out by the time Pikkon and Super Gogeta already released, but it's something people didn't know how necessary it would be to make this unit shine. And the fourth and final Gogeta that we've got is the 6th anniversary Fusing Gogeta Blue. Now for this unit here, I'm going to give them the green light, but I simply think because they were underneath Fusing Super Vegito, it does a lot for their perception. And I'll also stack on top, we know how we feel about their striker, so it could have been a lot more powerful, but it's not. So that's just a cross they have to bear. But nonetheless, during the part 1 of the 7th anniversary, they were a good unit. And in comparison to Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and his performance in the 3rd anniversary, we can clearly say that Fusing Gogeta Blue was very much so usable. A top 4, top 5 unit is not a unit that's bad. He's not one that would hold you back, but simply there was better options. So I'm going to give him the green light like I said, although some people might disagree with that idea. So let's look at the results now regarding the Gogetas. So what I like to do is break it down to a percentage so you can see the exact stats for what you could get if we get a Gogeta unit going forward. We only have 4 Legends Limiteds here, so with that we had 2 that were good on release, and it would be 3 if you include Pikkon and Super Gogeta. That gives them a stat of at least 50% because the first Gogeta Blue and the 6th anniversary Gogeta Blue were green lights. But if you include Pikkon and Super Gogeta, then it moves up to 75%. But something I factor in is that with some units, they're not completely the one unit we're talking about. So for example, Pikkon and Super Gogeta, Pikkon's on that unit, so it's not completely just Gogeta. And even fusing Gogeta Blue, it's not completely just Gogeta. There's Goku and Vegeta on that unit. So if we don't include those two units, we only have a 50% score, with the Gogeta Blue being good and the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta from the 3rd anniversary not being good. So honestly speaking, your results aren't the greatest when you're summoning for a fusion warrior being Gogeta. 50%, in the best case scenario you can get up to 75%, which is actually a good score, but the equivalent value of pulling a Legends Limited Gogeta that's good would be flipping a coin. So I advise you read their kits if you see one upcoming in the future, because there's no guarantee it's going to be a good one. Now let's go into evaluating the premium Ultra Gogetas. We've got 3, so let's get into talking about them. The first summonable Ultra to drop in Dragon Ball Legends, Ultra Super Gogeta. This goes without saying, without a doubt, a very good release, releasing in the 2021 festival, undoubtedly successful. There's literally nothing bad to say here. Very oppressive unit, his blue card deleting cards, the lock-in when one person on his team dies, very oppressive all around. I mean, it's an Ultra, you know, and for the first summonable, there's really no way they were gonna fumble that unit, so he gets the green light without saying. We then go into Ultra Gogeta Blue, releasing in the 2022 festival as the finale. Again, another green light. That festival was full of bums, let's be honest. Only really the tag 4s were carrying, and then they dropped this purple unit to really take the tag 4s out. That's a disaster class, for the other units at least. Ultra Gogeta Blue just ruining everybody in the meta at that time. Also goes without saying, he's getting the green light as a successful release. And then we go into the 6th anniversary Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, again controlling the game once he released, taking over the 6th anniversary, one-shotting everybody. This one-shot meta, very toxic meta, but a lot of people will take it to what we get usually now. Coming with his oppressive counter, the backflip, and the tap actions art on his ultimate, he's gonna do crazy damage. So yeah, goes without saying again, another green light, successful release. Now let's get into evaluating the stats. So we're addressing the Ultra Gogetas and the likeliness of you getting a good one. Well, so far based on the 3 that we've had, the score you're looking at is 100% likeliness. They've gone 3 for 3 so far, and it's not like any of them are even ambiguous, just straight green lights. Of course, units are always unpredictable, so going forward, there's a good chance that they could not make an overpowered one like they have in the past, but based on what we have in the game so far, it's very likely we'll also get another good one, following the trend here with the Ultras. A clean score of 100% when it comes to the Ultras is honestly great, because even if you didn't read the kit of the next one, you're more likely than not to get a good unit that you could use for a long time. Subpar at least the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, the developers got him the hell out of there. But overall, it's looking good, man. Shout out the Ultras, they're meant to be the value that they are, the highest rarity in the game. But yeah man, that's going to make the end of the video. I think the Legends Limiteds need to do a little bit of a better job, because it feels like every time they drop, they enter a large debate of whether they're good or not. Even the ones I listed as good, they were in that conversation where some people were not seeing their value and some people were seeing their value. And the fact that you have to look at them at a specific angle to tell if they're good, when Gogeta is meant to be the greatest fusion of all, is to a degree disappointed. If you guys are Dokkan Battle players, you know Dokkan Battles always hit with Gogetas, but they really fumble Vegitos. So I guess for the next video of this, I'll have to do the Vegitos just to see what we're looking at. But at least the Ultras are hitting high value every single time. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button. We're on this grind to 200,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. My name is Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.